No, it's waiting.
That's everyone?
One waiting. Yeah.
Okay. So let's get to the code.
Yes.
Now we're gonna do. So for this, we're gonna need to do some like forms to log in, log out, and some routes.
Right.
So let's do that. Let me just do that. This is like kind of.
Maybe we need a login. Wait, we need a login folder, right? So we can have a login file.
Okay. A login folder and then inside a login file.
What else would we need? Do we need to install the dependencies like for user authorization?
What would those be?
We had passport. What else were we using? This for the front end.
So let's see. Do we need passport in the front end?
I think that was all for the back end, right?
Oh, okay.
We to the front end, to the back end, we only talk through network requests.
Okay.
We need Axios
Okay, well.
because we need to make requests to the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have Axios here?
It's not installed yet. Once it's installed.
And here?
Yeah. So, look at where you are. Look at what directory you are. You can do
local
pwd. You are here. Do a ls, so that you see the file structure.
Do a what?
ls.
S.
Oh, ls.
Sorry.
So we need to go to the front end. And here we're at npm install, right?
Yeah, here we go again.
Good. Anything else?
No, we did create React app. Okay, so it's fine.
Yeah, this is
for now. We're good.
Yeah. I don't know if. I'm thinking about I think having someone driving might slow us down.
Okay, so when we navigate,
yes.
Like when we're dummies, you drive and navigate.
Thank you.
No problem.
So, because this is like what we're gonna do is mostly like boilerplate, like just have two forms. So let me. It's faster. Cool. So let's clean up our app. Thank you. Let's clean up this app. Let's run it. Let's see if our backend is running. So we don't have the backend running anywhere. Let's see what we have here. While that starts, let me start the backend. So just don't be afraid. I'm just doing any NS. Actually, I can show you here.
What is NS?
You can read here.
Okay.
So NS is my npm start. I just did it that way. Cool. Now, the backend is running, the front end is running. What we have in the front, this nice thing. Let's get rid of that. Clean up this. Let's leave only that. Let's get rid of this. Rid of this. Oh, delete. Let's see if our app still runs. Okay, seems like it's still running. Cool. So we have this empty app. We need login, sign up, and maybe like a private route. So we need. Let's have something like route login. Sign up. Oh, so what do you guys think about a route logout?
Oh, we don't need that actually, because we can just. Oh no, but we need a button.
We'll need a way, yeah. Okay, but yeah, we don't need a route logout because.
Until about you go to the page of login.
Yeah, most of the times that's how all the apps work. So let's just do like a private route, I guess. Yeah. So how do we do routes in the back end? Sorry, the front end.
Link.
Link.
Route. Import route.
Oh, route, link, and switch.
Sorry. From.
Yeah. And import Axios.
Let's not import Axios until we actually need it. Cool. So I'm gonna go. I don't have installed React Router DOM. Oh, actually no, React Router DOM. I think I do have it installed. Let's see. Let's check your package JSON. No, so we don't have React Router DOM here. So we need to install it. Let's open another terminal. Oh, this failed. Failed because I'm not in one of these two. And that's the one you spell. Cool. So once we have that, we could do. You can have here route. Oh, we'll first need a switch. I have a route. Logging. And login. We still don't have this component, but we're gonna write it real quick. Sign up. And then instead of calling this private, let's call it something else. But any suggestions? Like profile.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So let's rename this folder to just be lost color. Rename this to be components. And then we're gonna have a login, just to keep standards, capital name of your components, and I like to do JSX. Cool. And then this is, are we gonna do a functional component? What kind of component for this login?
I think functional components should know.
Yeah, so for that, we could think about what is this component gonna take care of, and does it need state? We're gonna,
We're gonna need the username and the password, but we can we can pass it down as props.
Mhm.
Or
So yeah, this component doesn't need state. It's just gonna be a functional component. So let's just do const login. Oops. And we need to import React. Cool. And then this is just gonna be return let's just return like an H2 saying this is logging. Form input type text. Input type text. Let's just leave it like that for now. Input type text. Oh, this one should be password. So we don't display the password. This one type submit. And then let's put the value here, login.
and placeholders for the.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. Oh. I'm gonna copy this. Placeholder. I think we don't need this, right?
Yeah.
And then this is password. Something that I also like to do in here is do labels. Let's just do that one. And the way that I like to do it is wrap my inputs into it. And then label user. And I'm gonna copy these from here and paste it here. Copy the closing one, paste it here. Indent this. I think now lastly we need to export default. Save this. Let's go to app. Let's import this. From components, login. Let's see what we have with this. Oh, so we have these errors. Sign up is not defined, profile is not defined. Cool. So I'm just gonna, for simplicity, just gonna copy and paste this. Sign. No. Rename profile. And sign up. Sign up is basically gonna be the same one as this one. Cool.
Except for H2.
Sign up. Cool, and then profile. We could do something like
Welcome. Username.
welcome. And then for now, let's just do username here to just give me a username. Laser. Cool. And we don't need any of this. Cool. So let's see what we have in the screen right now. Oh, we still have the error.
You have to import.
Import them here. Sign up profile. Now let's see what we have. Oh, we still don't have anything. So maybe if I navigate here to login. Oh, I still don't have anything. Why? We forgot on one important step.
To render them. Right?
We are rendered them. So basically what we forgot here is we forgot doing okay. What is this one for?
Only for our routes, right?
We have our
Let me
routes.
see.
We didn't wrap.
Oh, we do. We have our routes.
So we need, let's read at this.
Oh, we need to wrap it with browser router.
Yeah. And then this is just a special kind of router that uses the HTML5 HTML. So we need to go on. I like to do this in index here.
Is we're fine here, right? Because just in case I look to conference room, but
I'm sorry?
since we're here already, we're fine here, right?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I booked the conference room.
Okay.
Because I but I booked it after them. But if we're fine here, we can stay here, right? Like,
Yeah, whatever you guys.
Yeah, I think
we're fine.
yeah, it's
Cool.
Okay, I'll book it.
Cool. So I'm just gonna remove this other stuff that we don't care about. Let's import browser router from React router down, and let's just wrap this thing. Browser router. Now let's see what we have here. Oh, let's Sometimes my mouse doesn't work. Oh, so we see this. This is just because I had like some login saved. Uh, and then, but you know what would be cool to have a nav bar.
Yeah.
So let's create one real quick.
So the big something.
Yeah, let's just put it in app. Let me close this stuff. So now to login. Right now. And profile.
Doing Pinterest, Halloween, product, do Pinterest. Do you guys have your logins in your nav bar? Your logins on your, or is it in the body?
And I just did it on page. Like unless you log in, it doesn't go to the main.
Can we do it that way?
Okay.
Because
Like
I
not
think-
having routes for login and log.
Yeah, because we don't, I think none of our projects have that, and Read already has that example where all those buttons are in the nav bar,
I think we could do that.
or no?
I don't know.
So instead of having login and sign up route, we don't have that. We just as soon as you go to home, basically as soon as you go to here, you're gonna see a form here.
Yeah,
You see a form, and then you can switch from the login form and a sign up form.
Yeah.
Without them being different routes.
I don't know. 'Cause I think we all have the same thing. Pinterest has the same thing with the form.
It's like
Yeah, if you go to
Pinterest.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
So you see this, and then you can toggle between login and sign up.
Yeah. can we do it that way?
okay. How do I toggle back?
On the
There's a
left.
button on the top.
Oh, I think I could toggle here again.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
also do
yeah.
it there.
Oh. Oh. So let's see. So this doesn't affect the URL, right? No. So how could we achieve that? How could we achieve this behavior?
A function to toggle. No?
Okay, I like that idea. Where do we do that?
We could do that in our login component, right?
In our login.
Or no?
So since our login is
Oh, it's a functional.
so there are like a ton of ways of doing it. Let's do something like a component called Auth that's gonna be a parent of login and sign up. And then that one is the one that's gonna be taking care of what to render. So let's create a component called Auth. Actually, let me just copy one of these. I don't have to retype all that boilerplate. And then this is going to be called okay. And then this is going to say welcome. And then in here, we're going to import login and sign up. Let me just remove them from here. Auth. I'm gonna need to actually. So let's create, since auth is gonna be like a parent for others. Let's create a folder called auth, and then let's put login and sign up here. Cool. Is everyone cool with that? Cool. And auth stays outside because auth is like cool. So now here I have to fix this path. Now we are in components. Okay, so we are inside components already, so we don't need this part. Now we need to go to auth/login. Cool. So here we're gonna do of these. We're gonna do let's just display them on the screen and see later how we can toggle them. Well, let me see app. So we no longer have these things. We no longer have like this. Oh, wait. No longer have that. Basically, so we'll need like a link to home, right? Like a link to the main route. And this just call it home. And then we no longer have this. We will have home. And the component that we're going to render home is going to be auth.
Line 10, home, misspelled a little bit.
Yep, thank you. Let me add some space here. It's fun. I hate this. How to set up the prettier. You don't like some stuff. So this is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we have in the browser. Auth is not defined. What do we have to import it here, right? So we're at home profile. We don't have anything. Let's have something in profile. I think we just have, okay, we have.
Yeah, welcome user. Welcome user.
So let's see, like, this is your profile. Let's just see. So we have a problem that we're not reaching this route. Let's fix that first.
Mm-hmm.
Why when I go to profile, I don't see welcome, this is your profile?
Because you didn't look in it.
Because,
You didn't look in it?
well, we're not doing any like login checks yet.
Okay.
This is a problem with the routes.
Can I see?
So let's see route. The exact path and stuff?
We could do exact path here. Now we see that. Or we could also, well, I think I've talked about this. The switch goes the first route that matches.
Yes, we're going to move it all the way from the back.
We could have,
I mean, in the end.
yeah, we could have done this. Still gonna work. But yeah, let's just keep it. Okay, so how can we make auth render one or the other?
First, it should be the first page that should be presented is the sign up page, because we assume that the user is new.
We assume that the user is new.
And then there should be a button presented to sign up.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. I think the first thing that should be presented on the screen is the sign up page with a button to log in. And if the button is clicked, you're taken to the login page.
So it's with links, links to routes, depending on what login takes you to the.
But we're not gonna do it with routes because
Oh yeah.
we saw that
I
Pinterest
see.
doesn't do it with routes.
I see.
Any others ideas? First, the display sign up. Let's see what Pinterest does. I think, yeah, you guys are correct. Pinterest just assumes that you're completely new, and then it shows you the sign up form.
So we can just have a toggle button.
Like a what?
Toggle button where
Okay.
it shows login and it shows the sign up page, and then if you click on it, it's the toggle button.
So you're saying a button here.
Yep.
And then this is gonna
Wait,
either.
okay, this is so we have to run where both login and sign up. But why can't we just do the sign up? Can we?
So you mean we could have the button in the sign up, and the button will say login, right? And we could also have a copy of the button in the login, and then the button will say sign up.
They were just on each other.
Yeah. So, but because that is logic that we could handle here. But I guess let's do it that way. Yeah, we're gonna use the ternary for this. Button. Okay, is this? Don't have an account. So this is don't have an account. I'm gonna go to sign up. I'm gonna click here. It says have an account. Cool. Let's see what we have. Oh, that's misspelled. So we have these two buttons. Don't have an account. Have an account. Oh, this should be login. This should be sign up. Sign up. And let me fix the profile. Cool, so now we have this form. Should we do some CSS?
No.
Yeah, that's not important.
Okay.
This takes forever. It's frustrating.
Cool.
It is instant gratification, but not important.
Cool. Okay, so now we are displaying these two forms, and we need to display one or the other. And then don't have an account is going to show the login. No, don't have an account is going to show the sign up. And have an account is going to show the login. Right? Okay, so how do we do that?
We can do a function that on click, or is it don't have an account or whatever.
Okay.
You hit those buttons, it will render whatever form.
To switch
Yeah.
form.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is a really good start. On click. So this should be like on click. Okay, listener. Switch forms. Okay, how do we do that?
Button on click.
So, okay, so
Button on click. If login, take it. Yes, login, take to sign up. Not, wait, what?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we hold that on state? Like, have like either we want to be like true or false. So if it's true, it'll be like sign up, and if it's false, to be login. Or,
and then could you explain why you thought of state?
because we are changing.
Yes, it's like you're given a state and you assume that the state is right away. Like, does the user have an account? We assume that no, and the state doesn't have an account. So that's if the state doesn't have an account, you show the sign up page. If you click the button, if the user clicks the button, I have an account, then the state changes to have an account, has an account, and displays the login page.
Okay.
I don't know how to do that. That's the logic.
Yeah, no, that is actually the logic. So we need to keep. We need to have a way to tell React what to render based on something. So we said that we're going to keep this in state. So where would be a good place to start just to have a state? Why?
Auth is like a bigger umbrella thing, but both have a state in it, right?
Well, it's like, yeah, the reason will be Auth is the parent of login and sign up. So Auth can decide which one to show. It's like, yeah. Cool, so let's take this to a class. How to spell? Post auth extends like that component. And this is gonna be a render. Oh, what happened?
Control Z, Control Z.
This is gonna be a function called render. This function is gonna do this. Make sure that we close it. Make sure that we indent so that we have nice. Yeah, this one goes here. This, I don't like this. Indented. Cool. Okay, so this is gonna have a state. I like the old way, which is constructor props.
Where do you need to overpressure to measure props?
So, well, we only need props here if we're gonna use them in the constructor. If for some reason let's say,
I always deconstruct them, so like, I never use the word props.
Me either.
so
State.
Props, the word props just like freaks me
so we don't need to pass them here, because the parent of auth, which is app, is not passing anything. But so auth is not passing any, app is not passing anything to auth, but route passes stuff to auth in the props. So let me show you that.
Yeah, but I see maybe that we write it, like, but I don't know exactly how we're using it, because at times, like, I don't write props and it
Mhm.
works, so I'm just kind of confused.
Cool. So yeah, let's see how. So based on here app is not passing anything to auth, right? Because we know how the props look like, and this doesn't look like we're passing props. But route, but we're gonna see that auth is not a direct child of app. Auth is a child of route, and route is a child of app. And then route is gonna pass something to auth. So let's see that in here. So let's see. Open the terminal, and then let's go to the React tab. And then let's see. So the first thing we see here is that the root component is this browser router. It's no longer our app. If we didn't have browser router, we'll see our app. Browser router has child component router. Router component has a child, which is our app. Then we see that nothing is being passed to our app. Now here we see the children of our app. Then here we see the switch. Oh, actually, so I was wrong. The route is a child of the switch. Then here we see the route. And then, for instance, these props is stuff that switch is passing to route. And then look at our component, auth. So these props are the props that the route is passing to auth. Like under the hood, we don't see them, but let's say I want to see, so if you inspect it, these are going to be useful for your apps. Like params, for instance, is somewhat used. But so if I want to put any of this stuff, any of these props into the constructor or the state of my auth component, then I'll need to pass props.
Okay.
Because let's say I want to pass like, if for some reason you want to pass params. So let's see this. String. Oh, hello. So this is gonna be in the params. So now if I go to auth, match params. Oh, no, actually not in params. This is actually not gonna be here. Oh yeah, this one. So if for some reason I want to have this in my state or in my constructor, I could grab it from here. Yeah, so I could do in auth is that state. Search. Now I could do props. Location. Search. This doesn't have to be that. Now when I inspect my component, you can see that now I can just have that directly here. Oh, so you don't need to pass props here unless you're using them. Okay. Yeah, and I guess well, some people argue that if you're not using them, don't include them. So like remove them from here. But I don't know, I guess I got used to just including them. Cool. So okay, so we don't want the search string here. We want to have something that will control which forms to display. Either display one or the other.
Display form.
Okay. What about form to display? This is either okay, true or false.
Wait, it could be a form to display, sign up.
Yeah, maybe sign up. or logging. Right?
Yes.
Does everyone agree with this?
Can we start with the sign up?
Yeah. So we start with sign up. Let's just see what we have. Auth. Form to display sign up. So how, based on this, how can we use it to only display the sign up form?
The ternary
Right?
in the return.
Okay.
Elements.
Yes. Form to display.
This dot state.
Yeah. No, but this is true or false. Okay. Form to
Login.
display
Yeah,
equals,
I mean, sign up.
Yeah.
equals sign up. If yes, it display login.
Login.
Logging or sign up?
Wait, sign up. Did
This
sign
dot-
up?
So,
This dot state platform display equals login.
But then
Oh no, it's only sign up.
we need the button to change the state, change of state.
Yep. So let's see what we have with this. Cool. So sign up, we see sign up. Now we need this to change
To login.
to login.
And to change the button itself. Oh well, it has the whole. Got it.
so now we need to pass the state down to the component.
Why? I'm sorry.
Why?
Yeah, why do we need to pass
So
the
we can
state?
access the state or change the state here from the button.
So like what does, why does sign up needs the state?
So when we, in the sign up form, when we click on the
Button.
On the button?
This was the
so
button
it like
clicks,
changes the state here.
changes to state to login. And therefore display to login.
But do we pass the state or do we pass an event listener?
Okay, we can do that. Yeah.
Cool. So
Also, we can say toggle state or toggle sign up or something.
yeah, let's just toggle form.
Yeah, toggle form. This dot set state opposite of whatever the, oh,
Oh, but we don't have like a truthy false.
yeah. It'd be easier if we had that.
So everyone agrees with that?
Yeah.
So how do I change it?
Login display true or something.
Or instead of, actually, let me, oh. Of this, we could have login display. So if login display is true, we just display the login form.
Yeah, so keep it false in the beginning until we show the
False. Okay. So now we change this to login. So if login display Now we have to invert this, right? Everyone agrees with this? So it's login display, then display login, otherwise sign up. See what we have. But we still have the same thing. Okay. So toggle form.
Login display.
Equal to what was there before. Where is this login display coming from?
Wait, why is it login display false? Login display false?
Because when we are just going in, we should to sign up, right? That's what we decided.
Yes, okay, got it.
Oh, this at state login display.
And this this is not very good because we're writing to the state with this and reading from here. So somewhere in the documentation it says that you shouldn't do that. Let me explore that with you guys because I think I know exactly where. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the documentation.
The binding.
No, not this one. It's not this one. It is this one. Oh, no. State and life cycle. Second state. This one. This one, look at that. State updates may be asynchronous. React may batch multiple set state calls into a single update for performance. Because this.props and this.state may be updated asynchronously, you should not rely on their values for calculating the next state. For example, this code may fail to update the counter. Oh, this is like, I have like an example where you just increment a counter. So this, you see here, with this.set state, you're writing to the state, and you're writing something, and at the same time, you're reading from it. This is a little bit like hard to grasp, but we can just understand what we need to fix. To fix it, use the second form of set state that accepts a function rather than an object. That function will receive the previous state as the first argument and the props at the time the update is applied as the second argument. So here we're gonna use this because this is the correct way. So instead of passing an object, you see how here we're passing an object? This is what we have been doing mostly. We're gonna pass a function now, and this function returns an object, which is the new state. And then here they explain we use our functions, but basically it's the same. This state updates or merge. This is some interesting stuff. If you haven't read this, give it a read. Cool. So let's see what we have. Let's see if this ever fails. Oh, wait, actually, we haven't. Let's leave it like this, the way that React documentation said is wrong. And let's attach this toggle form to the button. See. So how do we do that? Pass it as props in the component. So here, toggle form is equal to that toggle form. Basically, I'm just gonna copy this one from here and paste it here. Cool. So now we're passing a prop called toggle form that is going to be equal to this that toggle form, and this that toggle form is there. This one. Cool. Now login receives that prop. So so we could do to attach it to the button. So Nikki, here's where we do the onClick. Like props dot toggle form. Okay, click. And we're gonna see something happen with this. So let's just do the same in the button because we passed it to both. So this is how we pass. Oh wait, click props. So and then we could have destructured this here directly. Would have been more plain, but let's go with this for now. Cool. So with this, we should have something. Cool. And this seems to work. But if you have a more complicated state, then it will probably fail because of the reading and writing to the state in the same way. Or in this, yeah. Okay. So what's the next step? Oh, wait, let's fix this here. Let's fix it here with this .set state. Let's pass. I like to call it the previous state. And this has to return. The new state. So in this instead of reading from here, what we're gonna do is prep state.login. Does this feels like weird? A little bit. Cool. So instead of passing an object to set state, we pass a callback function. That callback function receives the previous state, the state prior to this update that we're going to execute, so that we can read it.
So the previous state, but
yeah, and then we return this object. I don't need the parentheses here. Then we return this object that is the one that's going to be merged with this state. So now let's see what we have. Still should work. Let's see. Cool. Now our forms toggle without routes. Okay, so we're getting closer to what we actually want to do, which is handle user authentication. Okay. So let's have the user sign in and sign out. Which one should we do first, sign in or sign up?
Sign up.
Sign up, okay. Okay, how could we do that? How can we?
Enjoy the function.
Another function?
A function that will connect to the back way, right?
Okay.
Are we connected to the backend?
We're not connected to the backend. How?
We need to connect. We need to write something.
make post requests.
Make a post request.
Okay.
With,
Make post request to backend. Post to sign up. Okay, how do we do that?
Access.
Okay. Yes, we're gonna use Axios, but where are we gonna Make a post request. Okay, so where are we gonna make the post request?
Post request is
To the route sign up route
Okay, so
with the username and the password.
so when? What does the user need to do for us?
Fill out the form,
mm-hmm.
and then when they
Click
click
the
on
button.
login, sign up.
Sign up.
So when the user fills out the form and they click sign up. Okay. So based on this, what do we need to do based on these steps?
Look at the form that we created.
This one is the sign up. Is it still good, visible? So, yeah.
We need a register button, right?
Yeah, so we have, this is the sign up form, and we have a button here that says
Sign up. This is our
sign up. Yes, this one.
We just skip it.
Oh, okay.
Sign up is basically like you sign up to
Register.
register. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
Once
that's
the user clicks sign up, we check if there is something in both the username and the password,
Okay.
because it can be empty. Let's just assume that they typed in the unique username. Let's not check that the username exists enough for now.
Okay.
Let's just like keep it simple. And yeah, so if it's filled out and they click sign up, that's when we make a post request. Yeah.
Okay.
To the backend.
Cool. So if they type username and password, so for this step, so okay, for this step, one way that I like to do is I could type here in the inputs, I could type required.
Cool. Yeah.
Let's break this down. Yeah, so I could do this. And this require is not going to let me submit the form. Oh, where did I put those? In the sign up, yeah. Oh, I think I have some bugs here right now. Oh, that's because I'm sending some. This is, you could do this with JavaScript, right? You could check if they type something. And you might like want to have like a custom pop-up that says something else, but this is good for now. Then let's say they type something here, and release. Okay. So we have that. We did the check if the user name type something.
Okay.
Now we need to.
We put it, and now we need to be like, okay,
On click.
sign up user or something.
Okay, where do we put that function?
It's input, type submit.
Okay. On click.
Does it do it for input?
Oh.
Do we do on submit?
Also,
Yeah, I like more on submit. we could do.
But because
Yeah.
it has like the button also down there, wouldn't it trigger that as well?
No, because it's a different thing.
It's only for inputs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Button, input is input. We give it
So here we do an unsubmit here.
um,
On the phone. Yep.
Unsubmit.
why is it on form? Wait, form. No, then okay. Why is it on the phone?
So on submit
So
goes on
it
the phone.
works with the. That's how it's done.
So when, well, yeah, more commonly is this way. So
And it's gonna
when
work
the
with the
button-
enter.
When the button is like in the input form, like instead of button, I
This
think
one?
it's
Mhm.
yeah.
so this input is gonna fire the unsubmit event in the form.
Cool. And it's gonna work with both the click and the enter.
That is a good question. Let's see.
But the button will only work with the click
The clicking and the
entering.
enter is tricky because, or not tricky, but
But I
yes,
think
I
it's-
just press enter and it's gonna try to submit. And that's why it's giving me fill out. Yeah. Because we have two buttons.
Yeah, but one of them is an actual button, which will only work with click, and the other one is the
This one is
submit.
type
which
submit.
will work with enter and the click of sign up.
And yeah, I don't. All the buttons by default are unsubmit
I
buttons.
remember, unless you say that it's a
Oh.
button.
Yeah.
Type button. Or whatever.
Yeah. So this one, and this one is not trying to submit because we have an on click on it.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay. Let's do. Oh, we said on submit in the form. On submit. Oh, what function do we use here?
And submit. We need to
Where
write that
the
function. right?
sign up.
Good. Sign up. Sign up. Sorry. Sign up.
Sign up user.
Sign up. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, handle sign. Yeah.
Handle sign up.
that's even better.
Handle sign up. Okay. Where are we gonna write this function?
Not for you.
Auth. Why?
Because this is a stateless component, and that's where we're like passing down most of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good reasoning. This we oftentimes have, if it's a stateful component, that stateful component has functions on it. We very rarely have like functions inside functional components because it doesn't mean that it's not possible, but that's just like the way most people do it. Cool. So we're gonna write a function here, handle sign up. What is this function gonna do?
Going to make
It's gonna do access that get the access that we need to return.
No, this function is not gonna return anything.
Return the access request, no?
No.
we're
This-
making post request, right?
We need to make a push request, yeah. So make. This is one of the things that this function is going to do. How do we make a network request?
What did you say? Handle a what request?
This function handle sign up is gonna make a network request. How do we do net requests? We do access.post, or we use fetch, or we use bare XML HTTP requests. Those are ways to make network requests. Cool. So now we're about to use Access. Now is a good time to import it and install it.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't installed it. Let's just make sure we're in the front end. We're in the front end. npm install Axios. Axios. Cool. So let's make that network request. Where is that what endpoint or what? Yeah, where are we making these network requests?
Slash
Like
users.
users. Slash new.
Slash sign up? Is it no? New? Is it new?
Yeah, our backend, if we remember. I'm gonna show you the app.js in the backend. This file has these two routes, these two main routes, top level routes, and then in the users we have. If we go here, we have this new route.
Great.
Oh. So we know that is slash new. And why don't I need to do here HTTP slash localhost?
So did we set up that policy?
Install local.
Okay, Abby, what did you say?
I think we will have to set up something with like the JSON file.
That's good. That's why do we need to do that?
So that it's like dynamic in the sense that you don't have to worry about the address. You just have to worry about the endpoints. Is that?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Yeah, the other reason is because if we don't do that, we're gonna get errors about CORS. And CORS means cross-origin resource sharing, and that is just like a security measure that says that a client application, like our React application, cannot access information that is being served on a different domain. So unless that other domain allow us to do so. It's a little bit like, yeah, this was one of the topics that I had to like read a lot. And it's kind of difficult to get, but if you read, you'll get it. So basically, this is like for a website to. So this is like a security measure implemented in the browser, so that if a website is trying to access information that is in a domain different from the domain that this website is being served at, the browser prevents that from happening because that other domain might be a malicious domain. And
what do you mean, like on a different domain?
So yeah, on a different domain means this is the domain, this part, and in our case, this is one domain, and then if we change this to this one, this is another domain. The domain is, you could think of the domain as everything before the first slash.
Got it. So it's like it's saying like
Our unique address, right? Domain is
Yeah. So
unique.
Is that the IP address?
no. So this is, well, it is kind of related to the IP address. Localhost. So localhost is our domain, And this is actually localhost is like it's an IP address, but because IP addresses are hard for humans to remember, we use names instead. It's just that, yeah, under the hood, this is gonna be transformed to an IP, and then this is the port that we're running in. Okay, but so the basically, if we do this like that, our front end is running on one domain, and our back end is running in another domain, and that's gonna prevent it from communicating correctly, or we're gonna get the course problem. So what we do is, okay, and then I guess like this is a good moment to kind of. This is only, the course is only a measure, security measure in the browser. So the backend doesn't have this problem, like, or just a regular Node application, they don't have to care about course. So, okay, so now if you didn't know, we're running two servers, right? Our backend, and then a front end server that comes with Create React App. And that's why the front end server is the one that allows to do like hot reloading that we save, and we can see the changes immediately. That's because that server is in the back looking for changes in the files. If that server sees a change in one file, it recompiles everything and it serves it. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have that front end server forward requests to the backend for us. So let's go to the package.json in the front end. Package.json in front end. And then we're gonna say here, comma first, proxy, HTTP, localhost 100. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, we need to restart our front end for the changes to take effect. We're having an error there. And then once we have the proxy set up, we can get rid of this part here. Cool. Now we have this. Okay, so this is, we're gonna make another request to that URL. What's next? Why?
Because it's going to return.
Yeah, this is going to return a promise. What do we get in the response? So this is we get the response here, and that then takes in a callback function. So this is what we're writing here. And whatever is passed to that callback, we're just going to call res. And we also want to catch. And then that accepts a callback. And this, for now, this is console log. Cool. Okay, so anything else? Let's console log here, maybe res. just like to put a string before it so that I know what I'm looking at. And okay, so this function is making a network request. Now, what else? And we're seeing this error. Yeah, it's not defined on line 6 and the sign up line 6. Okay, how do we make it?
We need to import it.
Invoke.
Yep.
Invoke, import,
Props.
Both, right?
props.
Oh, no.
You pass it first.
Okay, we need to pass this down to sign up.
Mm-hmm.
How do we pass that?
In return.
Return.
No, here, like in the
And we can
sign up
destructure it.
line.
No, you don't.
I thought we just go on line 46 now.
Line 46.
Tell it.
Let's see if we did
That
proper form.
handle
Yeah.
sign up.
Okay, here.
I mean, yeah. Handle sign up.
Let me just copy this.
Handle sign up. Is that handle sign up?
Oh, and then the error is still there.
Do we need to import it? Do we need to say this props that can
Yep.
props
We need
that
to.
handle sign up?
Yay.
Cool. Okay, let's see if it works. Or let's see what we have. I should get rid of this. Let's see. No. Let's see what happens when I try to submit like that. Okay.
And 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Let's have this here just in case. Sign up. Oh, wait, I didn't click yet. Oh, do you see what happened?
You mistyped. First of all, there's on object submit. If you look at the warning,
Okay, let's see.
you
Oh, yeah, this is why we need to read the errors.
object submit. Yep. After that.
1, 2, 3. Oh, this is weird.
This is weird. And nothing in the console.
With nothing in the console, nothing. Let's see what we have here. Nothing really here. Huh. So I hit submit, and let's see if these requests are touching my backend. I can see them here because I have that here. So here I see this. I see like a 500. So it seems like we're making the request. I see one request here and then another one here to this endpoint. So it seems like it is firing the network request, but why is it like refreshing and I see the network request touching the backend? Well, the network request is not succeeding because we have 500, but why is it refreshing?
Prevent the thing. Yeah, prevent it.
Where does that go?
The submit thing. No?
Here?
Like somewhere like
Handle sign up.
Handle sign up, okay.
Oh.
So what did I type here?
E data.
Yeah.
But then we need to put the E in the thing.
The argument, okay.
E that prevent default.
Okay, let's see what happens now. Let me clean this. Cool. Let's see the console. Okay, we see error request failed with status code 500. And this is not like a super useful error, but at least we see something. And here we can, in this network tab, I can see the network request too. And then here I can see, oh, I can see that. I was not expecting that, but well, let me show you here. Headers.
Doesn't have our argument.
Yeah, but look headers. We can see what we're, well, we can see all the headers. We can see where we're sending that request to. You can see the error, and if we scroll down, we don't see anything else. But this is basically this is the request. This entire thing. Actually, more explicitly, this is the response headers. This is the request headers. You look at the cookie. This cookie is something that we're gonna be seeing. And then if I click in preview, if we click in preview, we have this illegal arguments undefined string. And this is our friend Jade.
Oh, we need to just string it. We need to just string the input.
Okay. So what's going on here? What are we sending, first of all? Where are we sending our network request?
Where?
What?
What?
Yeah.
Username and a password.
Okay. We need to send that. Are we sending that right now?
Well, when you put in and for now we just console logging, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just console logging. We're not sending anything yet.
How do we send then? Well, we're making the network
I
request.
don't think we need a then. Do we need a then?
Yes, we need a then because access.post returns a promise, and we want to know once that
So we need
promise
to do
was.
something with the response. What's our response?
No, we don't need to do something with the response. We need to make sure that we send information with this network request. We're making the network request, but we're not sending anything with it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So we are making a network request that we're gonna
Oh.
make a new user, but we're not giving it information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any ideas?
Do you need to write another one? No.
So in the post, are we sending as a second argument an object with the things that we want to send?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So let me show you here. So this is the signature for the post method. The first argument is a URL. The second is data. And this has that question mark because it's optional. You can decide to include it or not. This data is what's going to be traveling the request body.
So we need to do comma and then an object and then username and password.
Let me show you this. I'm going to send this. I'm going to send just like this string to the backend and see what we get. So let me clear this, the making a request. Now we see it fail, still fail. You see like still kind of the same error. And then if we go back to headers, we can see this one. Form data. This is data. This is the string that I put. And this is being sent to the backend, but I think we don't see it here. Yeah, we don't see it here, but I just sent this string to the backend, and the backend is like, what the heck is that? That's why we get the 500. Okay, so what kind of data do I need to send?
Username and password.
But like,
Okay.
how do I have to store it? Like in something?
Yeah.
Like an object?
An object, okay.
But we're sending it strings, right?
So we don't, the access.post is going to take care of stringifying the object for us.
Cool.
Okay. So here we need to send the username and the password. Do we have those somewhere?
Yeah, we can do it.
That's a good question. We don't have like, we're not saving.
Anything anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then let's put them in state.
In state where?
In up top.
In auth or
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Like here? Username?
That's for them to stream.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to pass them to login.
We need to pass this to login and sign out.
Sure, wait, is this gonna mess up something? Like the fact that it's an empty string and it's like
No,
with the
it shouldn't.
okay.
Shouldn't mess up anything. So why do we need to pass it down to login and sign up?
Because login and sign up are the forms. They are the forms are the ones we're going to be using.
Correct. So we just pass here. So username. And then we're gonna pass the password too.
We'll probably need a change handler as well, so we can capture.
Yeah, we're gonna need a. This is not well indexed. Oh, so with this, we're passing the username and the password. And when this is looking like that I'm using this that state in a bunch of places, I want to destructure it here. Const username, password from this that state. Now here, I can just go and delete until I see 2 dots. Oh. Okay. So Abid mentioned something, and is we need an event handle change something. Why is that one important?
Like input text forms they keep their own state.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make sure that instead of like having state in two places, they move together so that it will actually be changing the state for this case off rather than just the state for the form.
Yes. So let's see. Let's not pass an event listener or a handle on change yet. Let's see what happens once we like if we use them just like that. So okay, and then here I'm just gonna destructure the props here because we're gonna be using more. But I don't have to type props. I'm just gonna do destructure here. We know that we're gonna have a username, password.
Toggle form.
Anything else? What about we'll sign up, and then I could go and wherever it says props, delete until you find the dot. Oh. Now let's use the username. Where do I put the username and the password? Where do I put the username and the password? I'm passing them to sign up.
Yeah, so into the input,
Okay, here.
which has a value, we would also want to give it a name.
And give it a name too?
Yes, so that way when we write the handle change, refer to it.
Okay. We call it username.
Yes, in that sense.
Okay. So we want to do that in here too. Instead of the username, password. Cool. It's looking good. Let's see what we have so far. Oh, and we have to do this in the login form as well. Yeah. But let's see what we have in the browser.
Wait, what's type password, by the way?
Type password is so that it shows these dots.
Okay.
Oh, and look at that. Look at what's going on. Okay, when I select one of these, look at what happens. Look if I try to type. We need a handle change because we're asking this input to display the value that's coming from state, and that value is never changing at all. So we wanna put an onChange in these inputs. Okay, so let's write that onChange. Where do we do that? Here. Handle change. Yeah. So as you can see here, this is like complaining, right? So this is not a valid key because this is an object, right? The stuff that we're passing to handle change is an object. And this has to be a valid key, and this is not a valid key for this object. So this is what is called a computed property, or a computed name property, which is saying, okay, whatever this expression resolves to, use that as the key for this object.
Is that like when you do like objects that keys, that's one way to get the keys, and the other way is through brackets? Is that a little bit that way?
Yeah, I think let me say here. This is what these are called. Computed property names. So you see here, for instance, objectify key. So when you have the key for your object inside a variable, you need to access it in this way. You cannot do object.key because you want, in this case, key is a variable. So you need to take the value of key out of the variable so that you could actually use it, and then plug that into the curly brackets, and then it will be the same. That will be like another way of keying into objects. There's two ways to key into objects. One is the dot, and the other one is the, yeah. Yeah, this is what it's called, computed property names. It seems like it's ES6 new thing. I didn't know it was ES6, so I cannot imagine how I was before. Okay, so now we need to bind it. Do we need to bind it?
No? Really?
Yes, it's done.
So how do we define this handle change, and we need to attach it to the inputs, right? Okay, so we need to pass it here. Handle change. What will be that handle change? We need that into this form too. Password, handle sign up. Okay. Now we get it here. Handles, oh, handle change. Where do I put this? In the input? On change. Handle change. See what we have now. Okay, this looks good. Oh, we fired a new request. Look at the request payload.
Oh,
It's an empty object, so how do we fix the network request now?
Request.
Access here.
Username, password.
Okay, so let's bring this structure them here. Username, password. And here we can just say username, comma, password. You guys familiar with this? That you don't need to do the. I don't need to do this.
It only if it's the same.
Yeah, it's only if it's the same. Because the key and the value are the same, I don't need to do the colon stuff. Cool. Now let's see. Let me get rid of this thing that we have. Clear up the network console. 2, 3, 4. Sign up. Cool. It's no longer 500. It's 200. Let's inspect this. 100. Okay. Boom. Look at the payload. The payload is that object that we sent. Now we see preview response. Registration successful.
yeah.
Now cookies, look at the cookie. We have a cookie now. And look at this size, 94. Size is like 94 characters that are in here.
Jesus.
Yeah, it doesn't say when it will expire. Maybe it never expires. Oh yeah, expires max age, none. Okay. The thing, cool. So now we have, you can authenticate this. Let's quickly do the login form. So for the login form, I'm just gonna copy the sign up form. And we're seeing like a pattern here. The login form is very similar to the sign up form. So we could, in this case, we could literally reuse them. And but like,
I just want to see
Okay.
how it works when you're logged in and like when you check for permissions.
Cool.
Access them.
Yeah, we're about to
Yeah.
get there.
Because, like, that's-
Authenticate, what is it? The authenticate.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna copy this, paste it, and then remove this.
Check authenticate that.
I'm just gonna rename this to login. And then I'm just gonna have to change.
I need to change the and also have to.
I'm just gonna change all the sign up for login. This is another one. This is another one. This is another one. Cool. Okay. So one more word.
Types of value, sign up. 127.
27.
Yeah, one
Oh yeah.
Login.
and the
Log up.
and the bottom and
Load up.
And where else? Oh,
and
this
the
one.
bottom, And we need to pass in the auth.
Auth.
Oh, we did it?
Now we need like a handle login, right? So that's gonna be very similar to the sign up, right? Handle sign up. Handle login. And then instead of this,
It's gonna be, instead of a post, it's gonna be a get, right?
let's see.
It's gonna be a login.
Well, the only
Is logged in or something.
Let's go to the backend. See the app.js in the backend.
Oh no,
the only
it's
get
is logged in.
You see these two main routes.
Yeah.
Go to users slash new slash login,
Oh, login.
and this is a post request.
Mhm.
Okay, let's close these two again. Login. Oh, and cool. So let's see if this works. We're not doing anything with the response. We want to do something with the response later. So we know that we logged in Diana. So we have an account now. Let's do Diana 234. Let's see the network. Clear it, log in. Oh,
prevent default. Did we do that?
prevent default. So first, let's see how this changed.
No.
This is because, okay, so handle login. Are we passing handle login to the login component?
Let's see how we log in. Let's look. Oh,
Login. So have an account? Yes, we have an account. 2, 3, 4. Clear the network. Login. Cool. 200. Let's see Diana's password.
Oh. Oh, we don't want it.
The response, we have this object. Cool. So now we can log in and log out from. Oh no, we don't have.
We can look in.
We can log in, yeah. Okay. So now we need to do, so we're console logging here, like the response. This was the response for the login. We have the data, and that's where we have like information that we actually want. What do we want to do next? Well, actually, I'm gonna run to the restroom while you guys think about what we're gonna do next.
Look at the, yeah, me too.
I was
no,
just
I'm
going to do
in
it.
it. I'm in it.
So look, this is
Oh, yeah.
the check authenticate status. Is this a port?
Yeah.
Esto.
Mira, eso.
Remember I
Sí.
was showing you
Okay.
before?
Oh, it's in front end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like when you're trying to log. It's checking your session. If you're logged in, like so,
It can log you out.
like when you're logging out, it will run again. So if there was an error, it will run again just to make sure that you are.
Okay. I know it's interesting. I know, I know it's like comparing to see, yeah, like see, there's like an authentication token. Like I
Unless
was
it gives,
following it.
Get
But I'm
token
not-
is an I'm so sorry.
Okay. It's gonna die soon. I
Oh,
dropped it so many times.
oh, I thought you meant the battery.
No.
Okay.
No.
They're from here. Well, this is what read. wrote. Yeah, that's how he's defining it. Opposed to- What is it? I'm not sure.
I wish we had that thing.
The
What
thing
Alejandro
on
has?
I wonder, maybe you can add it from like.
So are these necessary? Is it is
You can.
Cool. Any groundbreaking decisions?
Oh yes. You're gonna be blown away.
Cool. That's what I'm here for.
so
Can we try to log in someone who's not in it so she can see authentication? So like, can we try logging Abbott in? Like,
Without-
username, Abbott.
How do you spell your name? I've seen it with an E.
Either way is
it's,
fine. Yeah.
ID.
it's spelled
Yes,
ID,
good.
but it's pronounced Abed.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So let's see what happens when I try to. Oh, what? Look at this warning. I've never seen that. But let's try to sign a bed.
That's what we're here for. Take you on new
Yeah, here we go.
adventures.
Okay.
500.
Cool.
This is not good.
Can you see from the network?
Yes. Network. Login. 500. See what we sent. Sent this. See the response. We see this, and the response says, no data returned from query.
So it's doing the authentication.
Yeah, I see it.
Cool. So, okay, so what do we want to do next?
The check authentication status.
Well, one thing that we want to do is we want to save the user somewhere once they logged in, right?
Yeah.
Once they logged in, we could save it somewhere and then so that we can like display it here in the profile. Instead of saying this, we can say the name. So let's do that. Where should we keep the user? Like once, so we need a way to tell in the front end if the user is logged in or not. Let's
In a state.
yeah, okay, the
you
state.
log in.
Okay. What component state?
Very safe.
Yeah. Let's keep it
Auth?
all in our auth.
Okay. Do we think? Okay, let's do it here. So, is logged in.
I will need a comma.
Okay.
We set it to false.
Okay.
After sign up or after login, when we make a request, we should also change the state to true.
Oh, is the user? Are we signing up the user? Are we logging in the user when the user sign up?
Yes.
You seem to be very sure. How can we
Because,
verify that?
It was mentioned it's very annoying for the user to sign up and then have to log in again when you need to just visit.
Yeah,
So-
I hate that.
So let's verify
I
that.
have to do that.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
It's like I just Tells you everything.
Let's verify that in the backend, because that was gonna be. Let's see if the backend is handling that. I'm gonna try to sign up. So I have this request with these values. I think this username might be taken. So I signed up with this. Now I'm gonna try to go to. This is log out. This is to log out. Don't save changes. This one is logged in. So I'm gonna send this one and see. Oh. Like, look at this. I just created an account with this request. Look at this. I'm gonna try to log out.
It's not handling it.
It's not logged in. The user is not logged in the backend. Once they sign up, we're not logging them in.
Can we make that
Yeah.
in the background?
We could do it in the backend or in the front end. Whatever you guys want.
Meaning, how do we do it in the front end?
So once we do a sign up request,
Yeah.
right after that we make a login request.
But like the person won't see anything. It's just like.
Yeah, the person won't see anything. So
Yeah,
we're
let's do it. It's kind of hacking. Thank you. Let's do it.
we're gonna do then 2 network requests, one sign up and then another login. So, any ideas for doing that?
Let's see. Okay. So after you handle login, wait, so what functions do we have? We have handle
No, I
login,
think-
handle sign
yeah.
up, and
Can we use the login and login inside it?
Yes,
Yeah.
we could do that. So maybe like here.
Yeah.
Call it like that.
do we
Let's
need
see.
to do a prevent default here too? Just to be safe.
So we're doing it here, prevent default here.
Okay.
And then right after that, if this network request succeeds, then we create this, then we dispatch this other network request, handle login.
So we do not need to do prevent default under the second one, under the line 46.
No, because this, like,
Because
we're not
it's
gonna
like
pass an
a-
event
yeah,
here,
okay,
but
okay.
we might see something interesting. So let's see.
Do we need arguments of the username and password?
Oh, those are gonna come from, the handle login is gonna take them from the state.
Okay.
Huh, there is another interesting thing. So let's see. Sign up. Let's try to sign up this guy. Let's sign up. Oh, didn't work. Let's see the console.
Prevent default but undefined. Authorization, this handle login, 26. Let's see. Option 19.6, prevent default, undefined.
So
Oh, I think
Is that expecting
that's the interesting thing that I was expecting to see.
a argument?
Oh, because we didn't pass the argument there, and it's supposed to have an argument, so we
Yeah.
have to have a prevent default. No,
So we could pass the event here again. That doesn't feel right. What we could do is,
not.
a better approach will be to take this out. Login. User.
Okay.
This too. And then
we just use the this login user.
Mhm. Let's see again now. Oh, so this already has an account. Let's use this other one. Okay, something happened. Now we see these are the last network request. So we did a new one with this one. Oh, that's the password. And then the login, we made a login with the same information. And then the response is logged in. Now this guy is logged in. Here is one challenge. What if when I sign up, I want to clear out the inputs?
Just go back from here. Right, just go back and you'll set back to photos.
Like here.
First you log in.
Okay, why?
Well, first you log the user to get the info of what you have there.
Yeah.
And then right away you would set.
Yep.
But why would we need that?
What?
Oh, we need one.
Why would we need to clear the text fields?
Wait, because like
We're trying to log in.
it's like right away, like as soon as you log in, technically it's supposed to be a different page already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
We
if
just
you don't log
direct
in,
them to
you wouldn't
different-
want to
Type
retype
again?
everything.
Okay, that's a fair point. Yeah, so we don't want to clear the inputs. If the okay.
Yeah, it's annoying when you have to retype the whole thing.
Especially your email and everything. It's just like,
Like sometimes when you fill out the whole form and something is wrong, sometimes some idiot set it up that it clears the whole form. It doesn't leave one mistake.
That's good. That's good that we're thinking of.
Like a CD website.
Yes, recently.
It's good that we're thinking of user experience here. Okay. Now we have like as soon as they sign up, we log them in as well. That's pretty cool. Let's have what should we do next? Maybe the redirect.
Yeah. So maybe make the profile as
So we could here today.
private route.
That's why we did it.
Like a private route. Okay. So we're gonna make the profile a private route. So let's make the link shouldn't even appear.
Yeah.
The link to profile shouldn't even appear, right?
There should be a link that, we already have it here. Toggle between the forms.
Yeah, we have this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see if the login works, just to make sure that. So I made this login request. Okay, we got a response, and we got a 200, so it works. Cool. So let's make this profile link disappear if the user is logged in, and let's redirect the user once they log in. Redirect them to profile, and then the profile link will appear too. How could we do that? So we only want one link basically, which is home.
Okay.
And profile should disappear if the user is not logged in. If the user is logged in, then profile will appear. Or
Look at the ternary.
yeah.
So
Ever since I understood ternary, I love
Okay.
ternaries. Ever since I understood that, I'm like, my favorite thing.
so,
So
detector is logged in on the state.
It's going to be on
Okay.
our, can we see the return
the return for what component?
for the optimization?
This one. Render.
Yeah, wait, we don't have an app component?
We have an app component. We have this app component.
That shows links, okay. So we need to like pass some stuff around and do a ternary. If
Yeah.
logged in,
Don't be too specific, Jack.
So
Like the props, like it's just embedded button thing. Like the props, and it's no, it's just not compatible with
If-
it.
so if user logged in,
Yeah.
then
Then
we display this link, I guess. And let's say we're gonna have like another link, like my just cool.
Alejandro, is it easy relatively to change the name of the route to the name of the user?
So like here, instead of profiles, have the name of the user.
Yeah, like if the user logged in and like instead of saying like profile, it would say slash,
Your name.
Do you know how to do this?
Yeah, I know, but I think
Would we be able to do it with our
Yes.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
with what?
With the knowledge that we have.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not
Definitely.
saying let's do it now. Like no. I'm just saying like is it doable for me?
Yeah, no, it's for sure. Yeah.
I tried it in Pinterest. I don't know.
You are capable.
You is smart. You is kind.
So yeah, we're not gonna do it, I think, here because it's just gonna take some time.
Yeah.
Okay, so if logged in, then we wanna render these two links. These two links have to be wrapped by something. So let's just do div here. So here we're gonna do. These links are gonna appear kind of weird.
Here, you said?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm wrapping them in a div. So, okay, so if the user is logged in, if user logged in, then we render these two profiles.
Okay.
These two links. Otherwise, we just render null.
Yeah.
But where is this user logged in coming from? Oh wait, I think. Am I?
It's in Auth,
It's in
which
Auth.
is like a lower
Child component.
component of this.
Let me fix this real quick here. Okay, return this var is in nested. So logged in. I think I need to do this here. How to the best way to do this? Do this. Return div. So for some reason I'm not. Navbar closes. Oh, okay. We're missing this one. Okay. So we have the problem that, let's see what we have in the screen. Okay, user logged in is undefined.
Did we?
So Abid mentioned that user is logged in, the information we have it into Auth, which is a child of app.
Oh.
What's the problem?
So we have to pass
Here we
from child to parent.
Pass up. We have to pass.
Mm-hmm.
How do we pass app?
But, you know,
No, you,
When inside
I'll let you take this.
the web and
With the router? No. So here is, okay, so it's logged in. Okay, so this is a fork in the road. And then the question is user logged in. Right? This is going true, and this is false. So for us to ask this question, well, this question will be asked in app then. And so this information has to live in app or higher up in app, somewhere else. So what we will need to do is, instead of storing this information in Auth, we're going to need to store it in app, and then pass down functions that are going to set that login, is user logged in. This one is kind of tricky.
So we will need to move that information, the user logged in, into app,
Yeah.
and pass it down into Auth,
Yeah.
which will then be passed down to sign up and log in.
Mm-hmm. So, and then here we'll have like, we have profile.
Are you taking this?
Profile, and what's the other one? Dashboard. Right? Something like this. So this is where, like, you see how we need to now send out this information to app, and then, okay, I guess let's do that, and then after that we can introduce. Yeah. No.
here until tomorrow morning.
like yesterday.
What?
I'm here for like,
How do you know?
you were posting things.
Oh, you told me. I was gonna stay over. But then I got so creeped out. But
Yeah, no, please
it
don't.
was so empty.
Where you're gonna
I was
like
gonna
stay
over.
overnight?
Yeah, and I was like, I thought, okay, but then like when it was so empty, I was by myself for like 3 hours, and it was like way after midnight, and I was walking, and I was reflecting on all the surfaces, like in all the glass doors,
Yeah.
and it would creep me out because it would be like, there's a person there. I'm like, okay, you're being paranoid. Like, and I would make sure that if I go to the bathroom, I would take my phone with me because I'm like, what if something happens? I have to call someone. I was like, okay, there is way too scary here. Let's get out, and I took an Uber home.
Good.
So, like, if someone were with me, I would be okay. Like, at least one person. But because I know that Channing and Eileen stayed here one time, but they were like, they have each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like, to be by yourself here on the floor, way too creepy.
No.
Oh.
That's why she wants to sleep over.
Okay.
Experience.
So we need user logged in into here, and we also need to have like the user itself, like so it is like knowing if the user is logged in is not very useful if we don't have the user itself, because we want to know who is logged in, right?
So everything is gonna be moved back to app.
So we're gonna have
This one. I have a lot of files for these.
Oh, yeah, React is.
It's fun actually.
So that's a lot
Jesus.
easier.
But I think, yeah, with this, we're gonna realize we're passing props like down 3 levels. That's not that much, but as you're up, like, this is only the login, and this is a simple login.
So you can see how things can get a little messy
Yeah,
without redirect.
cool. So here we're gonna do this that state. Gonna have user logged in. Starts with false. Let's keep the user here too. Cool. Let's see. Okay, let me destructure here this state. Let's see what we have in the browser now. Cool. So we no longer have those links, but we still have the ability to go to profile. Yeah, it's not a private route yet. Okay. So now let's set user is logged in the app, and let's set the user here as well. How can we do that? We need to set user logged in to true and save the user here. But we're doing those in auth.
So pass those down into
Pass what down?
the state.
Of app?
Yeah, the user logged in.
Why would I need to pass it to auth?
So that we can set it from there.
But setting is independent of a reading can be independent of writing. Setting could be independent of getting. So what we could do is have a function called set login user. Then we're gonna pass the user here. And we're just gonna say this dot set state. We're gonna say user, or user is equal to user, and user logged in. Right? Now we can pass this function to auth, and auth can call it upon successful login or sign up. Is this clear?
I honestly, I just zoned out.
Okay.
don't understand why we need that function.
Say that again?
I don't understand why we need that function.
Yeah. So we want to, in auth, we want a mechanism to set the user into the app state,
Okay.
right? And this is that mechanism. We're gonna app is gonna give auth this function so that auth can call it upon successful login or sign up.
So user would be what in auth is username?
That's a good question. User will be the user that we get in the response. So let's console log the user here. So actually, let's see. Yeah, but let's console log res here. Now let's try to log in. We got 200, let's do console. This is res. Res has all this data. It's config data headers, but we don't care about all this, but we care about data. So we could say, okay, the data is our user. We want to keep this. So we want to keep this object in the state, just so that we have the username and the ID. Ideally, we don't want the password digest, but that will be a fix that we need to do in the backend, and we're not going to do it. Okay, so now I can define a variable here called const user. You know that the user is rest.data, right? And then here is logged in. Is logged in. We're not going to handle it in auth. We're going to handle it in app, because we realized that that information we needed higher up in the component tree. Why? Because we want to take that, we want to ask that question and render something different. We no longer need this in here. What we're going to do is we're going to remove this. Oh, I removed something that I did. And instead we're going to say this.props that set log in. We're going to pass the user. This function is going to be this one that we define in app. So that once the auth component calls this function is going to modify the state of app itself. Cool?
Can you say it again, please?
Yeah. So we're going to pass this function down to auth as props. And then props, then auth is going to be able to call that function with this, that. And then to that function, we decide that we're going to pass the user. So we call that function with the user. We know that the user is res.data. And all that so that we can handle the user is logged in and keep the user itself higher up in the component tree. And I don't think that was clear enough.
Can you take a 5-minute break?
Okay, what time? Like, I need to leave at 4:30.
Oh, then let's not take a break.
Oh, it's 4.
What time do you guys need to leave?
You're supposed to leave at 3, but I'll be able to see this. See it happen.
We're almost done.
Oh, results.
Okay, so this step is kind of important that you guys get.
Okay.
The fact that
We have this function, we pass it there, and we get this. Okay.
so
When I first start, is yours logged in? No. But.
User logged in, we were handling in auth,
Yes.
but we realized that we need that information higher up.
To display the.
Yes, to display some information that's going to be private. Okay, so to do that, we need to, in app, we need to define a function that's going to set app's state. Yeah. And then with this function, now app can give this function to any of its children so that its children can set app's state. Cool, so let's do, now we need to pass this to auth. And the way to do that is that now we need a render here. And you have seen like do an anonymous function here. I like to do it separately because I want my render to be more clean. So I define a function here called render auth. And then here, I guess, this is going to be a function. And then I like to call this route props. These are history location match. And then here, instead of saying auth, we're gonna say this.render auth. So route props, and then this route prop is gonna return my component, which is auth. And then to that component, I want to pass the route props too, just in case we need them. We're not going to need them for now, but this is what you have seen. Props, passing props. Okay. Now to auth, I also want to pass. Let's do it this way. I also want to pass the function that I defined. So now set logged in user is that set logged in user. Now auth properly knows about this function. Cool, I'm glad. I feel like when it's everything here, it kind of gets, yeah. Cool. So now that we had that logged in user, set logged in user, and we only need it in the app, in the login user function, because we don't need it in the sign up. Why?
Wait, we don't need it in the login user? We need it in the login?
Yeah, we're calling that function. We're calling this function once the login was success.
So
The sign up has logged in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just reading, so it won't need it in the
Exactly. Handle sign up, signs in the user, and after that signs up the user, registers the user, and after that it calls login user.
Yeah.
Login user will call set user. Cool. Let's see how this is working right now. So let me show you the app's state. App. So this is app. User logged in false. User empty object. Now there's login. Have an account. Login. Cool. So now now the links appear, and now here in the state of app we have true. Now we have user here. We have the user. That's cool. Okay. Now let's do, and this is all we haven't done. Like, let me refresh this page. We have a couple problems. One is when you refresh the page, you lose the user basically. How could we recover the user when we refresh the page?
So you mean the user was logged out when we?
It was logged out, but from the front end. We kind of lost track of it on the front end. It is still logged in the back end, because we still have its cookie. Here we can see.
Wait, so what do you mean? How would you recover?
Can you sign in for a second?
Sign in?
Yeah.
Sign up or log in?
Oh, log in.
Oh, wait. Oh, log in. Mm-hmm. Boom, I get the user again.
Oh, you mean like that's how we need to refresh the page, right? Or...
No, I mean I'm here.
Yeah.
The user is in app. The user is logged in the front end because we have this. But if I refresh the page, now it's no longer logged in, but it's still logged in the back end.
Because once they log in, we direct them to the profile page.
No, we're not doing that yet. I wanna be able to refresh the page and still see profile and dashboard.
Is it Something in the application like local storage.
So yeah, we could use the local storage for that, and that is actually the best way. What if as soon as the app mounts, we ask the backend, is the user logged in the backend? And then if it is, then we just retrieve it and display it.
So component did not.
So here, in app, we do component did mount. And then these ones are kind of built in. I always like to put them at the very top because they're just different.
Interesting that happens.
For component in mount, I need to check if user is logged in. Back. So you see how we have this other route in the backend called logged in. So we could make a request to this endpoint and see if the user is logged in. Let's see what that will return. Oh well, I'll have to log in first here. Okay, and then is user logged in. I received just the username, and that's fine for now. So what we're gonna do here is we could have a function that says is user logged in. Wait, where is, oh, I closed app. So let's create this function. Is user logged in. In the back. This is you oftentimes don't want to be like this much explicit.
You can remove one of the ends.
Cool. And then this is gonna do an Axios or a net request. Oh. Axios.get. And we don't need to pass anything. The dot. And we get the address. Const user is equal to res.data. We just know this, right? The same way that we did here. And we can do, and because we had this more general function, we could just call it here again. Otherwise, catch error. Error.
Will this account for if there is no user?
Say that again.
If there is no user.
If there is no user, then what's going to happen?
I mean, it's not for the error.
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Res.data.
So you mean, let's see what we have in the browser. This is set logged in user 921. This one is coming from this. So now let's log in this guy. We see that. We see app, see the user, login true. Let's refresh the page. Oh, fail for some reason.
Wait, why are we set?
Because we expected to still see home profile dashboard.
But we don't want it, right?
We want
No,
When we
we
sign
didn't
up.
use the is user.
if we log in, we refresh.
Mm. Yeah, we're not using this one. Oh, yeah, that's. But the thing is, like, it's easy to get lost with names. Yeah, let's try this. So I have a feeling that if I refresh, it's gonna log in the user because the browser has the cookie from the previous login that we did.
Can you see the cookie?
Yeah, you can see the cookie in memory, I think. No, application.
Here you go, cookies.
Cookies.
So cute.
This is the cookie. Oh, this one does have an age.
93.
Yeah, this 93 is the size. It's how many characters you have here. Okay. So because we have this cookie, I have a feeling that if I refresh, it's gonna log us in because it's gonna fire a request. We're gonna see it happening here. Oh, actually, we see this. So it's not gonna log us in because this never request already failed.
Users is okay.
Users, yeah. We're here. It actually logged us in automatically. And refresh. You can see how, like, first we only see home, but after like a tiny millisecond, oh, this is another cool thing you could do here. Slow, simulate that. Actually, now home is gonna appear, and he hasn't done the other one. Cool. So now the user is logged in.
All right.
Let's redirect now. Instead of yeah. Let me add some space on these links here. Okay. So if the user is logged in, we don't want to show, we're not redirect them to profile and dashboard. And that's where this one is going to come in. So there are a couple of ways to handle it, but having a component that we call private route is kind of the best way to do it. Because if we have a component that is called private route, we can just wrap any other component into that one, and that one is going to take care of the fact that if the user is not logged in, then don't return it. So for doing that, let's do here components of, in here, let's create another file component called private route. JS X. And this is gonna have all the usual suspects. We're gonna use actually so I want to see like any ideas of how we could do this before I actually do it.
Would you put the
Any ideas?
Ooh, would this be like, can we use it to analyze, so like if the user is logged in to take us, to show us, to take us to home, and if not, if it's logged in, redirect to home. If not, the component, the authorization for like component, just the
Okay, so here we have some redirect to home. So here we have some comments. If the user is logged in, we want to redirect them. Okay, so this one is going to be interesting because the private route.
so we only get to this if the user is logged in.
Yeah, because that is,
So you just say give them like have two links where you click on home, go to home, click on profile, takes you to profile. Sorry, what are we trying to do in
the user
the?
is logged in, only then and there home and route would be available for them to see. If not, they would always be redirected to log in.
Yeah, but we only get to this one when the user is.
But this component is the one that's gonna take care of redirecting basically. So basically we could literally just say here if props dot user is logged in, then return like our private component basically. Here we're gonna do we're gonna rename this later. Else. Actually, let's do H1. So if the user is logged in, we allow them to see this. Otherwise, we redirect to home, right? And redirect is a component that comes from React router down. Okay, so let's see what we could do with this. Let me export these. Const export default. So we have this private route. And what we're going to do is we are going to close this. Here we're going to do something. Okay, let's import it first. Components auth route. And then we want this private route to behave like the regular route that we pass path, and that we pass.
Why is it a different color?
Because I haven't used it.
Oh.
Yeah. Once I use it, So I want to be able to do something like private route path. Actually, like profile is going to be a private route. I want to be able to do this. So basically, I'm kind of copying I want to copy the behavior for a route that comes from the React router DOM, and I want to implement like my own. But this one is going to be better because it's going to check if the user is logged in or not. Okay. So we're going to do this. So for doing this, we know that path, we're basically passing these two profs, path and component, to our component, to our private route. So because we know that, we could do path and component here. And then let's do this one is interesting.
I'll finish watching.
Cool. Okay.
The interrupt again.
Yeah. No. So for us to like copy, so basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap an original route from the React router DOM into our own. So we're also gonna do import route here. So we know that we want to simulate the interface for the regular route, and then like yep. Okay, so we want to like kind of clone the behavior, but the way that we're gonna do this is we're just gonna wrap a regular route with our private route. So the way we're going to do that is let's do it like this. Render a route here, path, and then we just pass the path that was given. Component, pass the component that was given. Otherwise, just redirect to home. We need this one, user logged in. So this one is one that we're gonna need to pass from app. And the way that Reed had it before, which is okay too, is because he's saving the user is logged in to the local storage, he just retrieves it from there. instead of having to pass it, here I'm gonna need to pass it like that. So he doesn't need to pass it because he has like a utils file, yeah, that is the one that's saving it to the local storage and retrieving from the local storage. So for now, let's just do it this way, and then we can see how we could optimize it. Oh, why is this here? So to app, here I also need to pass. I will also need to pass is logged in. So, okay, and then we're getting to like more complicated stuff because, or not complicated, but we could easily get confused by these two things: user is logged in and user logged in. Let's try to see where is the confusion coming from. User logged in. So I guess we should just go with this one, user logged in. What did I call it in the private route? So let's just call it the same here. User logged in. Okay. User logged in. Okay, let's see what we have now. Props is not defined. Line 5 private route. Oh, okay. Yeah, I no longer use props here. Cool. Oh, we don't have a way to like log out. The way that we can log out right now is if we kill the backend and start it again. This is invalidating your cookies, and that's why now I'm gonna refresh and I'm not gonna see profile and dashboard. Or oh. Let's see, it's logged in. Huh. Wow. This is interesting. It turns out that we remain logged in. I was expecting that. So what I said is not correct. The cookie is not. Huh. Let's try again. Huh. So we killed the backend, and that didn't, for some reason, that didn't destroy our session. Let's see if that's true. When app component mount, we do is user logged in the backend. We send this request to the backend, and we get true. We get a response. Oh. Okay. We'll need to ignore that for now. The fact that we should have been signed out from the backend as we killed it, but we didn't. So let's just create in profile, let's create a logout button so that really simple. So we can log out. Oh, actually, another way in which we could log out is this one. Just, yeah, remove the cookie Oh, the cookie's reset. So let's remove it. Let's close this. Let's try again. Wow, this is a monster cookie.
Oh my god.
So actually, I'm sorry.
Cookie in the search bar, the URL one.
Oh, this one is just managing password. Let's make sure that we're not sending a login request once we load the page, because so we make all these requests, but no, we're only making this one. So here we see the cookie too. So I have an idea, which is it's not enough with killing the cookie. We might have some other stuff around here. Oh, look at this one. Oh, actually, this might actually be all. This is like, this local storage is across session. So let me clear this too. Let me see session storage. Okay, let's try again. We're still logged in. Oh, did we look at these ones? Let's try this. Clear the storage completely. This should have cleared everything. Let's close this again. This is amazing. Wait. No.
Because just dealing with the, can we see
How is this working?
been doing in the back end?
So we can see that in the backend, we're only making these requests. We're never logging in.
So there's something is logged in. Let's check if we're not.
Let's see. That will be inside queries, I think. So basically, if rec.user if rec.user, this is if passport put the user again in the rec.user, then just respond with this. Let's see the users. So we never call login in this backend. Let's do something. Let's clear the storage here. Clear this. And we kill the backend as well. Or the backend again. I think, let's close this tab. Wow. These are moments that you guys will have too, where you're not sure why something is happening. I have, okay, let's try this. Steve.
What happens when the page mounts? Is that like,
so
like it's we ever
let's inspect, say the network. It's logged in. 304 not modified. We don't send anything in. Username no. Oh, so we have been. This we think we're logged in. This is, but look.
Yeah, it's still recording.
But look, it's because we. So this is bad. We're seeing this. This is not. So this is a bug in the front end that we introduced, and it's caused by also the backend not responding with something more meaningful. As basically, we sent a request to is logged in, and the response is just this username no. But this is like a successful. You see, it's a 404. No, not a 404. It's a 304. 304, not modify. But this 304 signifies it's a good response. But this shouldn't be because let's look at how Pinterest does it. Network. Let me clear this here. Login. Oh, that's. You see, while I'm typing, like Pinterest is making some weird network requests here. Do you see? Oh. So we see this 200, then we can see the information that we sent. Look at all the information that we're sending. And we don't even see like, where's my username? Anyway, that's not the point. Okay, so we need a way to tell when we didn't really get a logged in response. But we know that if the username is null, but it'll be better if we respond with like a 401 unauthorized. But let's just jump to the backend really quick. And then is logged in, DB is logged in user. We check that user and do that. Otherwise, press that status for 401. And error. No one. No. How do you spell this?
No, none. N-O-N-E.
No one? No, this is not.
No, it's
None.
2 words.
No, but I don't want to say none.
No one. That's what you want to
Nobody. Logged in. And we have the app crash. Oh, this port is already in use? Which? Oh. This is the front end. So, wait, let's verify that. Oh, so there's an Express app running. We need to kill it.
Is that coming from?
I don't know. I feel like it might be.
Started breaking.
Let me just kill that. So Not sure that'll kill it, but let's see. Yes, that killed it. Okay, now let's back to. Now let's try again. Okay. Because now we did a proper error that says unauthorized, and then rest fails. So is everyone clear on why we were saying that?
Because we were still receiving like a response where the username was null, and it was seen as if it was a registered user.
Mm-hmm.
So it was giving us access to our private router.
Cool. Now let's log in. Boom. Let's see if we can go to profile. Okay, we can go to profile and go to dashboard. Let's see what happens if. Okay, so I'm refreshing. So let's go back to this because let's clear the cookie. I'll refresh. Now we see what we wanted. Okay, let's log in again. Okay, no, actually, let's log out again. Remove the cookie. Let's try to go to profile and see what happens. Oh. Oh, I think we don't have a component called dashboard, I think.
Oh.
But how are you guys feeling?
This is reinforcing.
This is like
I'm burnt out.
okay.
I'm trying.
Then-
So I was like standing up. New position.
Then and this is like we are not even using Redux.
Oh my god.
And
This is why Abed was almost himself and he was doing front.
and this is a different way from the way that Reed did it.
Yeah.
Um,
So would this like still do everything? I feel like this is a lot simpler than what Reed did.
I understand this more. than
Yeah.
what we-
cool. That's good.
This
Yeah.
is new to me.
And
Really is good. No, I mean like because since Johnny and I are implementing Redux, a lot of the things that you explained, like when under the hood in my head, so I was just taking them for granted. But now that we're going over, it's just like, oh, okay.
Now you understand what you did.
Mhm.
That's a bit better.
yeah, and then if we implement Redux, then we're gonna simplify the components. Yeah, it's. I mean, Redux simplifies your components and the prop drilling, but
You still have to.
you still have to like create the Redux files, the actions, the dispatch, the resolvers. I don't know if you are interested in taking these to Redux, and if you have the time, if you want. It's kind of pretty late.
You know, I think
When?
Whenever.
Oh, okay. I was about to say too much. No, not now.
when?
Cool. So
So this would do pretty
we
much
are
most of
interested in
this.
taking this to Redux.
Yes.
I would
When-
like to
when?
see it. I mean, I don't know.
Whenever you can.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's just.
Monday.
but I'm not here Monday.
it's
Oh, you're not
Monday.
here Monday. Oh my god, I'm trying to make him come on
Wednesday?
another day.
You come on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So let's leave it here.
So this would work as like basic Auth.
Yeah. We just don't have
Yeah.
to log out yet.
But logout is
Like-
easier.
Yeah, I think log out.
Instead of like, for instance, instead of keeping the user in the app state, we could just keep it in the store,
Yeah.
in the Redux store.
Yeah.
Um,
It's more files, but I think it makes it way simpler.
yeah.
I haven't
And-
implemented any yet, but
And
it's
so,
up to you.
well, one bug this app has is that if I kill the front end, then now it's true that it was true before, but now we can actually see it that the cookie is gonna be invalidated. So my browser still has the cookie, but I killed the server. Now I'm gonna start the server again, and then if I try to, well, so let me just show you again. So this is home. I'm gonna log in. I'm logged in because I see these two, right? So I can refresh the page. I'm still gonna be logged in. But if I kill the server and then I start it again, a cookie was removed in the backend, and now if I refresh, I'm no longer logged in.
Yeah.
So this is a bug that Reed's original app doesn't have, because he keeps the wait. I know that he keeps a token in local storage,
Yeah, definitely.
but that token is just the username. And I don't, how is he able to restore? Because he still has, like, if you kill his backend and start it again, you are still logged in the backend and the front.
If you kill the backend and don't bring it up again, can the user still be logged in
Yeah, that's what his app is able to do.
without the backend?
Like, he kills the backend, the cookies get eliminated,
Yeah, but
and then
Restarts.
he starts again.
Before, like between him, if he doesn't restart it again, then the user.
Oh no, he's not gonna be logged in. Yeah, because
just-
yeah.
or say, like, okay.
Yeah, that'd be magic.
Good cookie. Wow.
The back end is really-
But monster cookies are actually a thing.
Huh?
Monster cookies are a thing,
I didn't know. I named it that.
and like they survive because they're like almost like viruses that they can have mechanism to store themselves somewhere
The monster
else.
cookie.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this was fun.
Oh,
We learned a little bit.
I did.
That's the point. Then until next time.
Wednesday. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.